What's going on, everyone? This is Pokemaster Bud. This is going to be my recap of a Fusion Cup we did downtown Houston last weekend. We're going to take a look at my team really fast. Had, a lot of different iterations. This is what I went with. A couple of these guys really came through for me throughout this tournament. Actually, I was on stream for 3 rounds. We start off this game, mirror match. Pretty straightforward. I think I'm actually on the right hand side, kind of cross the wires here from where I'm actually sitting. So I do take the Blizzard there, and he's gonna go for Mud Bomb. I decide to shield so I can get off my charge moves, and then I go for Blizzard. So I burn his shield, and then I switch out of there right into Poliwrath. He's going to go off, get a Mud Bomb off, which isn't going to do a whole lot of damage. He's going to decide to do another Mud Bomb instead of switching out. So I do get his second shield. I still have one. And I'm going to go ahead and use it to shield this last Mud Bomb because it would take me out. And he goes in, switches in Noctowl. I go straight for Ice Punch. So I can get off 2 of them. The video lags a little bit here. Again, this was a live stream, so it lags a little bit during some of these matches. So it goes down, and I bring in my Poliwrath goes down, so I bring in Bronzong. So I have Bronzong, I take out his Noctowl, and I still have my own Whiscash in the back, but he doesn't have any shields, so before he can get off a Mud Bomb, I'm going to go ahead and kill it with Psyshock. And then comes in Empoleon, which is resisting Confusion, but I'm going to get off this Bulldoze, which is going to do, almost all of its health. And then he's going to try to switch out really fast just to kind of eat it, but I think this was the better play, letting the Hydro Cannon take me down, and then I just shot it a couple times, and the Empoleon goes down. Alright, so then hopping into game 2. I lead the Whiscash again. I think I ran the same lineup. I'm just going to build up some energy. I was going to go up to Blizzard and switch, but he actually switches out right before, so I'm just going to go ahead and do Mud Bomb. And I'm going to get a shield, and then I'm going to switch out to Poliwrath. And I don't really have to shield this Hydro Cannon, so he doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to build up some energy and go for the bait with the Ice Punch. So now he is out of shields and a couple more Mud Shots, and I get off my Dynamic Punch, which will knock out this Empoleon. Which was really one of the main reasons I brought in Poliwrath was I was expecting a lot of people to be running or at least have Empoleon on their teams. It can't really take Dynamic Punches, as we can see. So it goes down. I'm not going to use my shield. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the Blizzard that I had saved up in the beginning. And then my phone freezes, or the stream freezes on my phone. I knock it out with Blizzard. He brings in his own Whiscash. And I probably could have gone straight for Blizzard. I wasn't going to get knocked out right away, at least. So I had a couple more Mud Shots right there. But I have shields still, so these Mud Bombs are just going to get shielded, and I still have one more. And right before he gets to that second Mud Bomb, which again wouldn't have mattered, I get to Psyshock to take it out. So that was game 2. And then they just kind of removed my my screen from the layout. It just wouldn't reconnect. So I do lead this. He has a Razor Leaf Poliwrath. So this is bad news. I had to get out of there really fast. I did a few mud shots, got some energy. He counters my switch really well, but I'm able to build up a lot of energy, and he decides not to shield twice. So these foul plays get his Noctowl really low, and then I kind of force him to use a shield to take out my Shiftry, and then I send in Bronzong just to kind of 2-tap it, and it's gone. So he's left in this situation where he has to send in Probopass, because Confusion just eats through Venusaur, and I don't have to really shield any of this. It's just going to do chip damage. But he's aware that I could go for Bulldoze, so I bait him with the Psyshock. He's going to go for Rock Slide, or actually no, he goes for Magnet Bomb, which I do shield. Oh man, the stream got really laggy. I send in the Poliwrath, and he timed it perfectly and eats the Dynamic Punch. But you see how that freaking Razor Leaf just eats away. I'm able to get off one Ice Punch that he shields, so he's out of shields, and he uses Frenzy Plant here, which I have to shield because it would have done decent damage. But I'm able to farm up energy, and right as he switches in, I'm going to hit him with a Bulldoze, and then one Confusion, and then that's all she wrote for round 1. Going into round 2 against Rexlum, or Rexlusum, I lead Wigglytuff into his Alolan Marowak, which it's bad and not bad at the same time, because Charm still does a lot of work, and he has to basically hit me with Bone Clubs, which do that much damage. Shadow Ball does less, because it's double resisted by normal. So I'm just going to let him do all these Bone Clubs. I'm going to force, or actually, I get off one Ice Beam. He really doesn't have to shield this. It wouldn't have done a whole lot of damage. I mean, the Charms are doing more damage. So I'm going to go ahead. I think I send in, Noctowl. He switches out immediately. And I'm going to have to just build up. I have both shields. But I know in the back I have Shiftry, so I don't want to send Shiftry against this thing. And with as low as Marowak is, I know Shiftry can beat it if it's at full health. So I go ahead and I get off. We both exchange our Sky Attacks. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one. He's out of shields. So that will take him down. Whiscash, I'm going to go ahead. I switch in. I'm able to beat him to the Leaf Blade. Or I beat him to Leaf Blade before he can get to any kind of charge move. One shot, and then I know with energy, boom, I'm going to hit the Foul Play before anything, which is going to be enough to knock it out. Whew. So, good game 1. Go ahead and pick my team. I'm going into game 2. I did expect him to lead the same Marowak. So I go ahead. I'm just gonna build up energy. I expect him to, switch out here, because look how that does nothing. And there he goes in the Cloyster. I switch right into Poliwrath. And take that Icy Wind. Doesn't do a lot, but it does lower my attack, unfortunately. A little bit of lag, not much. I'm gonna go ahead and go for this Dynamic Punch. I do one-shot it even with the debuff. He's gonna bring back in his own Noctowl. And I'm gonna get off this Ice Punch, which didn't really need to shield the first one. I'm gonna go ahead and let this go. Save my shields. Bring back in mine with energy. Go ahead and get off this Sky Attack. So we're in pretty much the same situation as the first game, where I know I have Shiftry in the back and I have to kill his Noctowl now. The only difference is his Marowak has a lot more health than it did last time. So I'm just trying to kill it with wing attacks. And I probably could have just saved my shield here, because one foul play would have killed it. But I had all this energy. I needed to get it off. I burned the shield, and I'm just able to get off another one. So this Sky Attack takes it, below half. The Fire Spin damage is really adding up at this point. Enough that this Shadow Ball is able to take me out. And then it's just kind of a race. But Foul Play will kill. I think I probably, at that range, I probably could have knocked him out with Leaf Blade. So that was game 2. So I'll take this round. We're going to go ahead and go into the third match of this round. And I think I end up going with the same team, just because. And he was taking a little while. So same same lineup, same lead. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna build up energy, wait for him to switch. No, he's not switching this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on Sky Attack. He may have just been waiting for me actually to pull to do that. But yep, see, there he goes. Sends in the Cloyster. I sent him Whiscash. I did not bring... Oh, I didn't bring Poliwrath this time. That was the difference. Alright. I should have brought in Poliwrath. And get up back-to-back Mud Bombs. The Icy Wind debuff, not helping really. I can go ahead and shield here. So now I'm at -2 to attack. So now he is out of shields and he switches into his own Noctowl. And I'm not able to get off the Mud Bomb in time. So now I'm at a much lower health than I'd like to be, even though he's out of shields. So I have to shield this. Then I miss. I tried to sack swap right there and send in the Shiftry just to get fainted down. But doing that actually cost me to get from getting off the Sky Attack. Then we lag pretty hard here. But that wouldn't have mattered. He's gonna have energy to beat me in a matter of seconds anyways. And even if I had beaten him to Foul Play, it's slowly catching back up. He still had Cloyster with a little bit of health and energy, plus Marowak with energy. So get that off, and then there's Cloyster with energy, which was enough to kill me. So GG's. I take this game 2 or round 2-1. Gonna go into the third round, which again I'm on stream. So I couldn't get my phone to work again. For this first match, we only see my opponents, and then I just started screen recording for the next 2 rounds. We go into a mirror. We notice that he does have a Psychic on his Noctowl. And he goes ahead and pulls the trigger right away. I am loading up to do 2 in a row, which he decides to shield the first one. And I get mine off right before he gets his, and that saved myself from that additional wing attack. So he banks up a little bit more energy here. So since he invested his shield, I'm going to go ahead and shield my Noctowl. I notice that I'm a little ahead on health. So he goes ahead and shields again. You can go for his Sky Attack. I just let mine go. I go ahead and bring in Bronzong. And I switch into good old Whiscash here, which, you know, walls Marowak for the most part except Shadow Ball, which I don't shield there. I save my shield. But knowing that he just got off a Shadow Ball, I know this Bone Club is coming, so I don't need to shield that. I'm going to go for Mud Bomb here. Just about takes him out, and I get off one more Mud Shot to feint it. So he sends in Wigglytuff. He's out of shields, and I get the Blizzard off, which just about, you know, one-shots it. It's super low. He's not going to get enough energy off. So he swaps out, but his Noctowl was super low, so I didn't even have to use a charge move. I just ended up getting confusion damage in. So like I said, I just started recording my own screen because the stream cord wasn't working. So I lead the Noctowl into his Poliwrath. I don't block the first Ice Punch. Take the second one. And he actually has a really good swap right there to send in the Wigglytuff. But then he shields. And then I send in Bronzong, which this is really interesting how this one plays out. Surprised me. He shields the Psyshock, and his Charm is just eating through my Bronzong. And I don't shield this, and the Play Rough actually takes me out. But with Shiftry in the back, I can't send it in against this. Charm will destroy it. So here we are. I'm going to beat him to... I had enough energy already banked. I'm going to beat him to this Sky Attack to take out his Poliwrath. Then he has a Alolan Marowak in the back. And I just get off the last second Sky Attack. That's going to drop his health. I do miss a couple bubbles though, unfortunately. So he has a lot of energy here. And it is Shadow Ball, and it actually does a lot more than I thought it was going to. So it makes this really risky. Just because those Fire Spins do a lot of damage. But I'm able to get to the foul play. And kind of like in the other round, I probably could have knocked him out from that range with Leaf Blade, but still, I wanted to be sure. So that was actually the second game. I won the first two. So we're going to go into game 3 of round 3. I lead Bronzong right into his Wigglytuff. So I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to go straight for the Psyshock. Either I'm going to force him to take it or force a shield. So he shields. I was expecting for him to switch, and then there he goes. Into Marowak. I'm going to go ahead. I bring in my Whiscash right on the charge move. And I don't shield correctly this time. That's not the Shadow Ball. So I go a little bit soon. I'm not going to be able to get 2 off right away. But I get off 1. I get the shield. And this time I do shield the Shadow Ball. And then build up a little bit of extra energy. And he's going to go ahead. The Marowak's going to go down. He's out of shields. And just kind of like the first game here, I'm going to go ahead and shield this. I shield the player off, and then I'm going to go for the Blizzard. Oh no, I Mud Bombed him. Alright, I thought I went for Blizzard here. And then I switch into Bronzong to take it out, and Psyshock this Poliwrath, which just annihilates it. And then 1 confusion, and it was done. So I could have gone for Blizzard. I just chose not to. But still, good games going into round 4. Alright, round 4 against Octavian. Very good team lineup here. Bad lead. Go ahead and switch into Bronzong. But he goes ahead and uses a charge move. Frenzy Plant does hurt a little more than Sludge Bomb. So I'm locked in against good old Froslass here. Go ahead and Psyshock it. Get one shield. And I decided to shield this, which is Shadow Ball. Avalanche would have probably knocked me out, but I did want to get off this Psyshock. Just to at least get rid of his shields or do a lot of damage to that Froslass. So now that he doesn't have any shields, I know I can bring in Wigglytuff and charm it down. And I expect to see good old Venusaur out here already. And he's pretty low. So I'm going to shield this Sludge Bomb right here. And then I probably could have just gotten off one more charm and taken it down. I'm going to go ahead and play it safe and get rid of it with this Ice Beam. And then in comes his own Wigglytuff. So we're just going to charm each other down as much as we can. And he's going to get a charge move off here really soon, which is going to do a lot of damage to poor Whiscash here. But I am able to get to Mud Bomb right away, which will knock him out. So that goes game one. Bad lead, turned it around. It's crucial getting him to burn those shields with the Froslass. So almost the reverse of that first match, where he leads it into a bad thing. Doesn't swap out right away. So I'm going to go ahead, just like in the other round, I'm going to go ahead and either give him the damage or see if he gets a shield. He's just going to let it go down. So I have some energy here. And I'm going to go ahead and go for Psyshock. So there goes one shield. And I'm just going to go ahead and let Bronzong go. And I'm going to send in Wigglytuff for the charm damage. He swaps out into Venusaur. And I have Noctowl ready for him. And I don't really need to shield. Sludge Bomb does hurt, but you know, it's not game changer at that point. I still had full health. So I build up a couple extra Wing Attack energies. Go for the Sky Attack. He goes ahead. There's his last shield. So I just have to use one here. Sludge Bomb would have put me in the red. Go ahead and do a few extra. I try to just farm it down. A Frenzy Plant doesn't take me out, actually. And then I go ahead and use Nightshade against this Froslass, which I feel like is actually the first time I used it in this tournament. And it wasn't even what I intended it for. It was in case I get locked in against a Bronzong. So there it was, getting another use, being super effective against ghost types. So here, bad lead. So that was 2 games to 1, or to none. So I go ahead and build up some energy and swap out into Wigglytuff to eat this Avalanche. So it does a lot of damage, and he switches into Venusaur. So quick play. Not gonna shield this, because I'm not gonna get to I'm not gonna get to Ice Beam anyways. So I save my shields. I go ahead. I know I don't need to shield really this. Go ahead and just farm it down. So I have a decent amount of energy. These charms are gonna do a lot of work, even though they're resisted. Go ahead and get off one Psyshock. And get off another. So there goes one shield. And it's just Noctowl and Wigglytuff. So I have to shield this because it's going to be Ice Beam. Oh, he actually can went for Play Rough. So goes that. So he still has one shield. I have one shield. I'm at the typing disadvantage. It goes for Avalanche. So go ahead, I pull the trigger on Sky Attack. There goes Shield, and then I'm able to get my other Sky Attack before he gets to another Avalanche. So GG's there, Octavian. There goes going into round 4. Going into round 4 against my good friend Luigi. Just practice all the time. Had a lot of championship games against him. And even like at 1 a.m. before this tournament, we were up battling each other. So I lead Wigglytuff into his Swampert, which isn't terrible, but I knew he had Sludge Wave, and he actually is able to bait me really effectively here because I'm not like familiar with the count on Sludge Wave. And I'm thinking I was like, oh, he got me. He's gonna hit me with Sludge Wave here. Nope, 2 Hydro Cannons. I'm out of shields. His Swampert's almost dead. I'm gonna go ahead and go for Ice Beam here. And really, I think I just stay in this. I'm gonna have to take all these Sky Attacks. I should have just stayed in, but I go ahead and switch out. He's locked in now. He's gonna go for Nightshade. I'm out of shields. Nightshade does a lot. That's why people started using it on their Noctowls. So he's gonna go for the Sky Attack, which isn't gonna be quite enough to knock me out. So I do have a bit of energy here, and I should have just done 1 Confusion. I don't think he would have gotten to a move yet, and I would have had that energy to burn here. I could have done double Psyshock and been in a much better position. Because here I thought he was, which he does a charge move, so I send him Wigglytuff to die. And then it's a race, but he had a lot of energy already. I'm not able to get to Foul Play before he gets to another Avalanche. So not having those shields in the mid to late game really hurt. But very well played. So I didn't edit this. I should have edited this part out, but oh well. Both of us kind of thinking about our teams. Just thinking about how that last match went. Leading Wigglytuff really wasn't that bad. It was just kind of getting trapped that hurt later. Wasting shields on it and not really killing anything with it. Ended up sucking. So I'm contemplating what I'm going to lead. There was a couple things I knew, or that he had, I was worried about. So I was like, maybe he'll do the same thing again. Nope, leads Noctowl, I lead Shiftry. I'm going to do a couple and then swap out of there. Go right into Wigglytuff. And I'm not going to shield this first Sky Attack, because I know I can take it. And he's going to go ahead. He's looking to switch. And go ahead and go for the Play Rough. Had a little bit of lag. Like, both of our people on the map were running all over the place at this point. So take the Hydro Cannon, did a lot of work to his Swampert. He goes right for Hydro Cannon. And I take that right as I'm getting to the Leaf Blade. So he lets it go down, doesn't take his last shield. Go ahead, let's Shiftry die. I preserve my shields here. He is getting to that Nightshade, so I go ahead and shield it. Then switches out. So we both have a shield. I have the energy advantage. And go ahead and go for this Psyshock. So I got the second shield, and then really thinking about it right here, if this is going to be Shadow Ball or not. It is not Shadow Ball, but I'm able to get off a Psyshock that will take it out. And then all I have to do is Confusion down the Noctowl. Whew. So game 2, we're even. Comes down. The all-important game 3. So I laugh. I told him I have 3 fusions, so this is my 3rd team, but really it's like my 5th team. Had a lot of iterations, a lot of different pieces got changed out. And I get lucky here. He decides to change his lineup. You see what I'm running with Noctowl in the lead and Bronzong and Shiftry in the back. I was worried about his water types, or even if he decided to bring in Bronzong again. And he goes ahead and switches his lineup like a few more times. I'm locked in with that Noctowl lead. He can't decide. If he had led that Frostlass, it would have been really hard to come back from. But he goes ahead with Swampert in the front. See, should have led Shiftry like I did in the second game. But this is like a neutral-ish matchup. So he goes ahead and switches out. And I switch in here to Shiftry. We're basically just killing each other. So I do a few more foul plays than I need to. And I probably could have just gone for the shield bait with Leaf Blade here, because I get the shield, but then I beat him and I win the CMP tie for this foul play. He goes ahead and doesn't shield it, lets it go down. Doesn't really... It's Swampert or Shiftry, so he sends it in for the mirror. And I win the CMP. Get off my Leaf Blade. And then he's going to get off his Leaf Blade, which does almost just about take out my own Shiftry. So I have to send a Noctowl here. I get off my Sky Attack, which he shields, and then he's going to bail right away and get off this Hydro Cannon. I know I can take this one comfortably, and then I have to get out of there because there's no way I can kill the Swampert and Shiftry in the back with Noctowl. So I have to take that, and then I have to shield this so I can get off the Psyshock. I was lucky he didn't have Earthquake, because I don't think I could have lived one of those. So I almost actually get to a Psyshock here, which would have just helped a little bit. But he's farmed up so much energy at this point, he has enough for a foul play immediately. And right here, I told him, good game. But I live on like 3 HP and get off the Sky Attack. I couldn't believe it. It was that much. And then that was game. I won barely. So it was great matches, as always, against Luigi. So I end up going 5-0 in this tournament. Fusion Cup started off really fun, and then I kind of felt down on it. But I really had fun at this tournament, and looking forward to next month. Thanks, guys.